where we last left off, you guys had been venturing somewhat unwillingly into the abyss. Each of you with their own sort of level of intrigue and interest in this current aspect of your quest. And after diving in, you were contacted by Rain Fear, the former leader of Sebni's tribe, who apparently needed to be saved. And then you found something pulling the pieces of the crystal heart toward it. And sort of moving along, you found that you were on Occipitus, the 507th layer of the abyss, eventually finding an ancient celestial who seemed to have fallen to madness, known as Adamarchus. After a little bit of information gathering about him, you found that he was basically housed here on a piece of Celestia that fell from the seven heavens with him. And it seemed like there were no demons around this area, but just this single entity hidden in these ruins. After he had some battle with the Grast. So basically, this sort of odd, half-angelic, half-demonic creature with a split personality took you on, and it ended up that you actually removed the good presence from within him, sending it back to its plane of origin, while just leaving the evil version of Adamarchus here. And with the help of Melandria, you were able to defeat him. I believe that's about where we'd left off.
So where are we, right now?
I believe that you're still within the sort of central courtyard area where you first met Adamarchus, where you were sort of looking on him when he was staring into this gem.
Didn't we decide to do a long rest here while we were...
I believe you had, yes.
Yes. So fellas, there's a couple of bombs stuck to that pillar over there. Just so you all know.
I'm gonna, if it's at the end of the rest, I'm gonna, if she's still there, I'm gonna go talk to Melandria and Celestial, and ask her how she got here.
She looks over to you. That is a great question. It's...
I'm going to cast Comprehend Language subtly, if I can, over here.
Okay. Roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh, that's good. All right. 21.
21. Yes, you can indeed comprehend the language of them, and they don't seem to notice. You're sort of sitting a little bit off of their immediate conversation, listening in. And she says, I've known for a long time that there was something that needed to be done. And I know these things aren't quite as cut and dry for you yet, but you'll get there. And essentially, I failed in my mission here, in what I was attempting to do, obviously, as I'd been captured. But having you come, I knew that eventually you'd come as well, and you'd be able to free me, so I just am looking to continue on my mission as soon as possible, now that I'm feeling a bit more rested up.
What do I do from here? Do I come with you?
Could certainly use the help.
What are you trying to do here?
Well, she kind of looks over to the party here. Roll another stealth check as she looks over your way, Alec.
Just a stealth check?
Yep.
Okay. All right. 8.
She kind of glances over and holds her gaze on Alec for a second.
I kind of uncomfortably shift.
I look over at Alec, kind of questioning what she's looking at.
How well do you trust your compatriots?
Well, I trust you implicitly, of course. I admit I don't know them as well as I maybe should for the trust that I put into them, but we've been through quite a bit already in a short amount of time. I would say I trust them quite a bit.
There's been a swelling of actually, I can sing it on my throat. There's been a swelling of energy beneath Ostaren. I believe you're familiar with it.
Only what they've said. I've kind of followed my heart and the guidance from you when I could. I'm not. Do you speak of the beholders?
Yes.
My understanding is there's a preparation and we have limited time before they plan to attack the city. And we are and intended on combating that.
That's right. Whisper of this has long perfused through the gray wind. It's been a matter of immense curiosity for me in my endeavors, and through my travels, I had discovered that this event was to transpire sooner or later, though I did not believe it would be so soon. I have set upon a quest for myself, a way to fight back.
Well, I don't know what to do. I can't leave you if you need my help, but these are my friends. I would consider them my friends. How can I best serve?
If they are to be trusted, and at this point I'm going to have to take you for your word that they're good people. I've been locked down here so long, it's been impossible for me to oversee your situation. But if they're good people and behind the cause, as you claim them to be, they could be of help to us. What course of action would they take?
I think they would be open to any help that they could get. They seem to have welcomed me easily, seeing that I'm interested in vanquishing evil. And I think they would listen to you. If you had an idea or a plan. Have you been able to glean what I've been up to with the ley lines and trying to restore their power?
I'm sort of tangentially aware of your goings-ons through my communications to our collective deity, but it's muddled. Certainly, if this candle is a goal of ours, it should be taken care of, but I can't believe that you've just been thrown into the abyss by pure happenstance. This has to be for a reason.
I agree.
You say you
Perhaps.
trust me implicitly.
I do.
Then what I'm going to say may come as a shock to you. My plan, it is not something I would endeavor into if it were not of the utmost importance, as I'm sure you're aware.
I am.
Are you familiar with the concept of a demonic boon? A gift from a demon lord? An entity of the abyss?
I am not.
It is not without extreme reticence that I have delved into such matters, but sometimes even those most opposed to us can offer some assistance in such matters. The demons don't want the material plane overrun, similar to us, Essrex is a home for them in a way.
What exactly did they give you?
Nothing yet. Well, that's what I'm here for. And I was hoping they would give it to you.
Who exactly?
It's a bit more complicated than that, I'm afraid. I was hoping to get the collective demonic boon from all of the demon lords.
Is this a power?
It is. It's a gift of strength, of demonic energy, of extraplanal energy, you could say. I know it must sound crazy, but you have to understand that you're not looking at a simple battle here. You're face to face with what could very well be the apocalypse.
Well, you know that the oath I'm sworn to looks to fight the greater evil by any means necessary.
Exactly. It can't be me that does it. I'm one too far to the celestial paradigm, but I believe that you may be perfect for such an endeavor, should you be willing. I can't say what effect it may have on you. That sort of corruption mixed with your celestial heritage, it may lead to madness or chaos brewing within you. But it is the only way that I could see to do what must be done.
I'm willing to lay my life on the line for you and for the greater good. How do I proceed?
I think the best first course of action would be to discuss with your party members. I imagine that at least a few of them, and she sort of like gives a sidelong glance to Sebney, won't be such a fan of this deal that I'm proposing. You see, it has to do with the continued, how best to say this, continued allowance of a certain level of demonic infiltration into Essrex. You see, we have to offer them something, and with those of the Dark Sun quickly building their powers against the demons, they fear that their livelihood is being taken from them.
Well, I think we should try to talk to the party.
I think you should. They don't even know me. If you can't convince them, I can go off on my own and do what I failed to originally, but the help would certainly be welcome, if not necessary. I'm sorry to put you in the situation, Brad. I really am.
It is okay. Tell me what we must all do.
There is an accord, a collection of the demon lords. You see, they too look to this upcoming event with concern. And so all of the demon lords have gathered. And they intend to discuss how to move forward. it is at this meeting that I was hoping to introduce the possibility of allowing you as a certain vessel of their strength.
Where is this meeting to take place?
On the 666th level of the Abyss, deep in the heart of the eternal flames.
But of course. And you think it the entire party to get to this area? Or is this something I have to do alone?
I don't think you'll be able to do it alone. I foolishly thought that I would be able to, and, well, as you can see, I didn't get particularly close to succeeding. I think that we would need everyone on board, certainly, especially if they are currently working against this pursuit, as I fear they may be. You'd all mentioned closing the gate, which I'm not sure is possible at this time with what we need from them.
Can we do this in enough time? We're short on time.
Time passes much more slowly here. I believe that it's more than possible.
Okay. I will discuss this with the party.
Thank you, Bran. Really. And thank you again for saving me. I couldn't have taken it much longer in there.
I'm glad we found you.
Me too.
Will you stay here while I discuss this with them, or must you leave?
I'll say, but I feel it's not my place to speak up, especially if some of your party members may not trust me or this allegedly, well, admittedly dangerous proposition.
Okay. I turn and look at the party. Is everyone just like looking at me? Or
I think that they're in the process of waking up and, getting ready for the day,
I had my own intentions that I would like to discuss after.
I'm just playing with all of my things.
You see Tick Tick, you post it, it's like, wow, I forgot I had this. Great.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking at you, Eric. Bran.
So I'm gonna, if you're watching, I'm just gonna walk up to you and say, we need to have a discussion with the party.
I hope you don't find this too intrusive, but I heard everything. My concern is...
I look surprised. Really?
Just, it's fine. But what if they say no? I mean, we're in need of allies, and I'm not one to judge who people ally themselves with, but it seems like a very difficult endeavor.
It does seem difficult, but fighting that many beholders also sounds difficult. I have trusted her since I was a teenager, just barely. And she has been with me in thought. And I have to admit, I'm very taken aback by finally meeting her physically in the flesh.
I don't mean to perhaps judge your line of reasoning here, but you say you've known this being your whole life. And I kind of lean over and look at her behind him. Is this a request that she would make of you? Does it seem like something she would normally ask, for you to ally yourself with demons?
In our vengeful quest to vanquish evil, her ways have often been mysterious, but she has never led me astray. And this does seem like a deep request but I don't view it as allying with demons. I view it as using them for what I need to get done. And while I can't ask you all to follow my lead, I'm willing to give my life if it is going to save an entire city and the evil that might befall it. I'm willing to die for that.
I kind of like look at the book that's like probably hanging from my bag. I understand the use of power and hopefully the discarding of it thereafter. But keep in mind too, and I will follow you with whatever choice you make. But one of the great additions I think you make to our party is by being that ethical, noble person that I feel to do the right thing. And not only am I afraid the toll this might take on the material plane, but I am afraid of the toll it'll take on you. Just keep that in mind.
I appreciate that. I don't feel like I'm resting on my laurels. I feel like I'm using evil for good. And the second that I feel that I am joining with evil, I will take an alternate route, even if that means extinguishing my own life on purpose.
I'll make a deal with you. Perhaps you and I should make our own oath that should either of us succumb to the evils that we plan to harness, then the other should put an end to it. Does that make sense?
I hold out my hand to do a handshake.
Yeah, same.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I take this oath with you.
Then an oath is sworn. I'm with you, whichever decision you make. And I just let you speak to the others.
So I'm going to collect the others and bring them over, wherever they might be.
Easy enough to do.
And then have this discussion with them.
So, what are we doing with demons?
I don't know all the details yet, but it sounds as though I may be able to use demonic power to vanquish the evil that could befall. Which city is it? Offstern?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Essrex in general, really.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Betrexen, but okay. I just say this world. I am sworn to vanquish evil at any costs, and I'm willing to lay down my life for it. And if my guiding light tells me that this could help, I am willing to try. I can't demand. I can only ask that you, as my new friends, help me to help Essrex.
Are you going to turn into a bad guy?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
What? We're friends?
I walk up to you and pat you on the head. Good friends.
Well, I'm in. I trust you.
Tick tick, I do not know. If I was to lose myself, I've just sworn with Alec that he is to destroy me.
If you want, I could destroy you too, because we're for good friends.
If I become evil, I welcome it, my friend.
Awesome. No, not.
Just
It
hope
seems
that
like-
it never comes to that.
Yeah.
It seems like we might never get things done if we destroy people, though. Because if we just start destroying you, where do we draw the line? Then we just destroy the entire group of us. One by one.
I mean, I'm not evil.
Well, that is a good point that I didn't consider.
You do have a good point, Tick tick. My hope, I do not want to die. I'm willing to, but I like my life. I like you, my friends, and I like taking down evil. It gives me great pleasure to rid the world of evil, and I would like to continue doing so. This seems like a climactic point in this world, and it seems like a tall task to defeat that many beholders. I've already considered that none of us will make it, even if we just head for the beholders as we are now. But I wouldn't have considered this task had Melandria not asked for my help. But she tells me that we have to stand a better chance of all combining together to do this, and I believe her. I have no reason not to.
Logan, is there any way I can tell whether or not this Melandria is the Melandria she claims to be?
With certain spells, it's possible to achieve this. What sort of things do you have at your disposal?
Detect thoughts.
You think that would probably work? Yeah.
Would that be something that... I haven't really looked that up. Would she be aware that I'd be detecting her thoughts?
I'm not sure. I think you can hear her base level thoughts without her knowing, but if you delve deeper into her mind, I think she can tell.
Mhm.
Something like that.
All right, I'm going to read this spell really quick.
Zebney, we don't talk much. What say you?
Seems like a bad idea. All around. But I don't know what to make of it.
Sevni, I thought you were all about demons and stuff.
Yes, that is true, but you see, I can turn back into a normal form. That might not be possible. For Bran here.
Do you think it is worth the try if we're able to save Essrex, even at the loss of my life? Were that to happen?
We should just see what the demon lords have to say. See what they request in return.
How many demon lords are we propositioning, by the way?
I'm still not.
I only know of one that rules layer 666.
And who's that?
The Grand Cthulhu. If I'm correct. Of course, they're always changing. You know, he could have moved to layer 2, but...
Well, frankly, I think you should all continue discussing. I have a couple of words to exchange with my business partner, Tick Tick, if you all don't mind.
Business partner?
Yes, we actually made an agreement about the transferal of souls and flutes or horns or something like that.
Right,
The
right.
details are kind of foggy to me, but we have ventured upon this agreement together,
Yeah.
and so I believe he is saying that we need to talk about that. So we'll just be having our private conversation then. So please don't listen.
We're gonna head
It's
over.
supposed to be secret.
Yeah, we're gonna head over to the pillar with that I put the bombs on. Let's go over there. I would like to motion Tick Tick behind the pillar, and I'm gonna look around and be like, "All right, Tick Tick, you like stealing stuff, right?"
Well, no, I think thievery is bad.
What?
You
Sorry.
can't steal stuff that's other people's.
You like taking things that other people aren't using that you want more, right?
Yes.
Right. Because
Yes.
that's not stealing, because you deserve it more.
No, because I want it more.
Because you want it right. Well, right up there is a big fancy gem that I don't see anyone using. And I was just thinking to myself, maybe my business partner Tick Tick could help me loosen it from its current place.
How much do you want it?
A lot. I mean, look at it up there. It's beautiful. We all stared at it and then started hallucinating. It's crazy. It must be worth so much gold.
Well, if you really want it, are you sure you want it more than whoever has it right now? Because that's an important distinction to make.
Well, actually, I don't think anyone has it right now. We killed the guy who owned it.
Well, it seems like the pillar has it right now.
Fair. Look, you like trade, right?
I do like trade.
I'm gonna remove from my bag, and I'm gonna just scatter like a fucking that meme. I don't know. I'm gonna just pour down all these shark teeth. I have this pile of shark teeth.
I'm
In
going to sift through
exchange
them
for
for
your
a moment. And then go,
services.
deal. Oh, you don't know what you just gave up.
Shark teeth is what I just gave up. So, what do you
Yeah,
think?
but this one has a groove on it.
What's the heist we're gonna pull here? How do we do this the best way?
Well, I figure I would probably just go up and get it, considering, I mean, there's not really anyone here but us.
Right, but like,
So,
what? Sometimes the others don't like when we, mess around with things without their permission. Do you want me to like cause a distraction?
sure.
Oh, okay.
If you think that's best.
All right, I'm gonna walk out in the sort of the front area. We're all next to, and I'm gonna go, hey everybody, look at me, and then I'm gonna try to do a backflip.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check.
Whether I can or not, I'm not sure, but acrobatics is going to be a 19.
Okay, you do a like almost perfect backflip. You know, you land on your toes.
I don't even hear him. I'm just talking to Bran.
Nice backflip.
Okay, thank you.
I look over Alex's shoulder and I'm like, he just did a backflip.
Now I'm.
Why did he do?
Everyone keep looking at me.
Why'd you do a backflip? I hope you didn't do a backflip to bring my attention to you rather than having it from
Now
somewhere
I'm
else.
gonna throw my sword in the air and try to catch it.
Brandon,
Oh,
if there's one way, forgive me for being so skeptical, but I feel as though we need to be sure about what she says. If this is really your deity, maybe you should use your cone of truth, or I can read her thoughts or something. Truly, if she's good-willed, then she would go through with it. You can tell her it's my skepticism that forces you to do it. That way you don't have to break any trust or anything with her. But I would hate to go down to the 666th level of the abyss to try to speak to demon lords if we're being hoodwinked or deceived. I want to know for sure.
I do admit that I've been somewhat starstruck with her presence. I've used that spell in the past, but I no longer have it prepared. I would have to spend quite some time to use something like that. I could command her to tell me. And it feels like I have to admit that there's a possibility that She speaks the same way. She seems the same way.
Then allow me to do it. She has no love for me, and I don't know her.
I just can't do it, Alec.
That's fine, but if I have your permission, I would like to penetrate her thoughts if I could. Tony, goddamn it. I used the word penetrate. I shouldn't have done that.
You can't hurt her or manipulate her. You can just if you can force the truth, that's fine, but nothing more.
Then will you accompany me while I ask her permission to do this?
I will.
Then let's do it. I turn and walk over that direction towards her. I mean, she's probably just right there, right? Pretty close by.
Yeah, I mean, she's a few feet away, but she's close.
Bran has informed me of your plan to make an alliance with these demon lords. And while Bran trusts you and I trust Bran a great deal, you'll have to forgive me for being skeptical. We are in the abyss after all. Bran has agreed, and I hope you'll agree, that if I might use a little bit of magic to perceive some of your thoughts, I'd feel a lot more comfortable going along with Bran and doing this, what you ask.
If it must be done to convince you, of course.
Now I'm wondering if she can trick her mind or something. I don't know. Okay, I cast detect thoughts on her.
Okay. She currently doesn't seem to be thinking about anything in particular. Her thoughts are just kind of straying, just thinking about you, thinking about this mission. Do you ask her something? You prompt her with some phrase?
What do you fear will happen with these demon lords when it's all said and done?
Looking into her mind, you see immediate hesitation, but it's sort of pushed away by a renewed sense of resolve. And she says, I seek only to deal with one problem at a time.
I want you to think about Bran when you first contacted him. What was like following him all this time?
You see your thoughts immediately go back longer than Bran is really familiar with, as she's sort of like watching him from a distance grow up when he's a young child and, you know, obviously in tune with his celestial side, watching him slowly develop these sort of connections to his more celestial ancestry. And then a particular event stands out. Bran is around 6 years old. And it seems that for whatever reason, she classifies this as her first real experience meeting Bran. Bran was in a difficult situation. And similar to how you've seen him before, his eyes and mouth began expelling white light. But she quickly kind of shakes the thought from her mind and says, I've known Bran for a long time, most of his life. He has been of particular interest to myself and to our deity. He shares the certain vengeful resolve necessary to get things done.
No. And I look at Bran and I say, she's telling the truth. It's fine. I release this spell or whatever. How will we get to the 666th level? I mean, just being here is daunting, and we put our lives at great risk just being here for the brief time we've been here. What happens if they say no, if we even make it there? I mean, forgive me for saying it sounds like a fool's errand.
We need to stop to the 558th layer first.
To find Rain Fear?
Yes.
And take him with us?
Presumably. Of course, he's always cryptic, so he'll probably have some other way of doing it, but
There must be some other way because traversing nearly 100 floors of the abyss is.
the abyssal ocean. It's not so perpendicular or vertical as you may think.
So Bran will be our demonic angelic ambassador, and you will be our guide. And I will simply be
Sure.
a skeptic along the way.
And the rest are our jesters.
Dick, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Oh, I haven't started yet. I've been watching Nugget do his tricks.
Oh, you.
God.
All right, yeah.
And for my next trick, I'm gonna count to 15.
Oh, that's a high number.
1, 2,
Do you think he'll hit 3?
3.
Oh,
You seem to have be struggling. The next number is 4.
Tick, start climbing the tower.
Oh, did
start doing
you
what?
want me to go?
Yes, go. I was
You
just
didn't say go. You just said, I'm going to do a backflip. I thought you were trying to show off for me.
Climb the tower?
All right. I'll go. Can I
Should
try
I
and climb?
still cause a distraction?
Hold on, Nugget. Stop doing the flips and stuff. I want to see what Tick Tick does.
You begin climbing the obelisk.
I do.
Okay. Go ahead and roll I guess an athletics check to attempt to climb it.
What was the demon gift? What did you call it? How do you spell
Boon.
7.
B-O-O-N.
it? Okay.
7. Okay. You find it extremely difficult to climb. It is a very, well-polished stone. Not easy to grab onto, and your arms are not very long, so you can't really, grab all the way around it, so you're kind of trying to squirm up the side. You're not having a lot of luck.
Is there like a platform at the top that this gem is on, or?
It is either hovering or directly seated upon the point of the obelisk.
But
No,
there
no.
is a space where it looks like if I could get up there, it would be easier to stay balanced up there.
Yeah, I mean, if you could, be around the top of it as opposed to being
Can I just dimension door up there?
Yeah, sure. You want to
Okay,
dimension door up there?
That's what I'll do. Yep.
Okay, so you're kind of climbing, you look behind you, and then you just rip a hole in the demonic plane, stepping through it, and you kind of are perched up at the very top here, once again, sort of gazing at this odd gemstone, this almost opalescent, sort of weirdly glowing gem.
I'm gonna run underneath it, and I'm like, just toss it down. I can catch it.
Okay, I would like to try and grab it.
I can catch you too, honestly, if you just want to drop.
Okay.
With
you
your
grab it.
spike gloves.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna drop it and try and get it down to him.
Okay. Roll I'll say a grappling check to try and catch it.
That is going to be a. That's a 9. Dirty 20.
Okay. You catch the large, sort of oddly shaped, multifaceted gemstone.
Wow.
I
Can I
look at
shove
Melinda.
this thing into a backpack?
Is that bad that they took that?
You ask Melandria?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't have, but I don't know much about it either. It seemed to be rather transfixing for Adamarchus.
Are the pieces of heart drawing? What are they doing?
You could still feel like a magnetic pull toward this gemstone.
Towards the gemstone, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see. But we don't think this is holding the portal open necessarily. Is the obelisk itself was what was
You think that the obelisk is involved in the portal?
with the portal? Okay, but the gemstone probably not. Just made us hallucinate.
Yeah, you don't think so?
I shoved this thing into reasonably into a backpack.
Yeah, and you have a big backpack. I mean, it's it takes up a good portion of your backpack, but yeah, you can shove it
Right.
in there.
What's it called? What should I title it? Big demon crystal? What a...
Oh, good question. It is called the
Hell yeah.
Opalescent Stone of Radiance.
Nice.
Opalescent.
And I got shark teeth.
Yep.
Also, do you want this shark fin? I look at this horribly just decomposed raw fish.
You can keep that one.
Yeah, I toss it on the ground. I didn't want to litter, but I can, this is the abyss, so, Oh, you can hop down now. I can catch you.
That's okay. I can climb.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
I'm going to try and climb down.
Roll an athletics check.
9.
Okay. You hobble about
Wait,
halfway. Okay. You immediately fall from the top of
Oh my god.
the obelisk here. Do you attempt to catch him, Nugget?
I knew he was going to fall.
Yeah, roll an athletics check.
I'm gonna put my mage hand in the way to try to slow his fall. It probably won't hold him, you know what I mean? Only 10 pounds, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it varies slightly. Seems
Yeah.
to fall.
It wasn't great. It was only a 28.
28. Yeah. Yeah. You snag him. He does take the damage from your spiked gloves.
My bad. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's fine. I grapple a creature that's 4 plus 3, I believe. Is it plus my strength too? Wait, I know this. I have it written
You're
down.
gonna kill him.
Stab him.
Yeah. The fall itself would have just been better. The cement.
Yeah, do I deal strength as if I was attacking him, or as if I'm just like
No,
grappling?
just grapple.
Okay, so that's going to be 7 piercing damage.
So that didn't feel great, Tick Tick.
See, I told you I
gotta-
could get down.
I'm gonna bandage him.
Okay.
Don't worry. D4 plus medicine. That, my friend, is a 11.
Okay. Yeah, you like lift him off of Nugget's spiked gauntlets here, and you're easily able to mend him back up.
Thank you, Sebney.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, fellas, we're making... we got to get moving. Where to next?
Looking for a boat or a sea captain.
I can paint you a boat.
Would it be made of mache or wood?
Wood.
Would it? Would it actually?
It would.
Wood. Oh,
Interesting. Well, in that case, we should probably find... Well, I don't know. How good are you at painting boats?
I'm really good at painting boats.
Stupid question. Clearly, he's amazing.
My bad.
Tick
Well,
Tick,
then let's-
go ahead and roll intelligence check to see if you know how boats operate or even really look like.
In the middle of the
6.
desert.
6. You've heard of boats. You've never seen one.
But I'm sure I could work it out.
Yes, you have no idea of like the mechanisms how a boat goes or makes it move. But
It's buoyancy. It's the...
Mm-hmm.
You know this?
Yeah, this is like beginner boat stuff.
What's the front of the boat called?
Boat front.
I'm not getting in it.
I don't think I will either.
Why do we need a boat? Did I miss something?
That's a good question.
The Abyssian Ocean.
What?
You thought it was all flames and fire?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, actually, I did. Is it like a magma lake?
I don't know what it's like. There's only one way to find out, and I head for the door. Or head for the
We-
exit, or the
Couldn't
stairs.
we use a portal or something?
Have fun finding it.
Could we?
Does she know? I asked the angel lady whose name I forget, Melandria. Like if she knows how to traverse, basically. She got here somehow. How has she been moving through the levels? How can we move most quickly and efficiently?
admittedly, I did take the same portal you did, so I haven't gone far, but certainly the ocean is said to connect many of the levels. There are also, as you mentioned, sort of portal systems, I think, through a lot of the abyss, but I'm not sure which portals would lead where without contacting the local denizens, and I'm not sure that would go the best. So.
Yeah.
And if we were to shoot from portal 507 to 1700.
Right. Well, I defer to your judgment, Sebney. It seems like I'll follow your lead, but we will need a boat.
We'll need a captain.
And a crew.
I can be the captain.
Sure.
I want to be the first mate.
Captain Tick Tick.
I read a book once. Well, actually, my mom read it to me. It was about a boat. I don't remember much from it, but
Was it a ghost boat?
No ghosts. That would have scared me. It was a bedtime story.
Well, ghosts are bedtime stories.
Not where I come from. Anyways, I just recall there being a first mate, and perhaps some sort of stick system that they use to propel themselves. I think like they
Oars are rowing.
put a stick in the water and they like hit the ground and they push with the stick.
That was a
Boat
canoe
sticks?
or a kayak.
Yes, boat sticks, of course. I think we should just find this ocean, see if we can get a vessel.
Did we see any signs of an ocean or any bodies of water as we've moved through the abyss so far?
The hearts. I think the heart would be the best bet. Although not confirmed if it goes to the ocean.
Well, it goes to the stone in my bag.
Does it?
Yeah.
Let's have it find a new source then.
Can you recalibrate the hearts, 70? Because I can't.
Just smash them.
Hey, actually, we used to do this thing out in the country. I used to try to find wells underground, so I'm pretty good at like recognizing the terrain and where water might be. So like, perhaps maybe I could search for that sort of thing.
I think that's an excellent idea.
All right, now I need you all to not judge my methods, but I will try. I would like to either I would make like a nature, or like would that make sense to try to find water?
Sure.
Nature. I'm gonna get down in a very animalistic fashion. I'm gonna pick up some of this like dirt.
What's he doing? I looked at Brand. Have you ever
Follow
done
me.
it that way?
Have I ever what?
Done it that way?
Would you roll for the nature?
I don't think so.
21.
Okay.
Nice, epic number.
As you're sniffing the ground here, you do smell a very faint scent of sort of trying to think the best way to describe it. This sort of sickly sweet smell. It sort of like turns your stomach a bit. You're like, that might be it.
I'm like sniffing, and it's like that scene in Ratatouille when he's eating the food and like the colors are like floating around. I'm like, I'm picking up something here, and I'm gonna try to find the direction in which that's coming from with my bloodhound-esque nose.
Okay. Easy enough. You do eventually locate this smell. It slowly starts becoming more obvious to you as a smell of like various decaying plants. It smells like some like really vibrant herbal tea you may have had at one point in your life with just a conglomeration of different desert plants all slowly rotting together.
Would I know
Alright.
anything about the Abyssian Ocean?
Roll a history check.
17.
17, you do know some about the Abyssian Ocean, but I would say that the smell that you're smelling now is certainly not the Abyssian Ocean. It is much more likely something known as the Stinking Realm. It is a gateway into the 528th layer of the Abyss, dominated with decay, filth, and oozes. Its inhabitants are known for carrying various diseases and parasites.
Son of a bitch.
Interesting.
I'm getting some sort of plant vibes here.
Would I know like if the Abyssian Ocean is water or like acid or flame?
You believe that it's water, at least primarily.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
I see.
what do you think, fellas? You trust the old sniffer?
Let me give it a smell. Of course I smell it.
No, Snebney, I don't believe I do it that way.
Yeah, no, I disagree. This is definitely not the ocean.
But it's something, right? Plants mean water is probably near it. Back in Essrex, we used to crack open cactuses.
Cacti?
What?
Cacti?
You northerners. Anyways, we used to crack open the cactuses for water. So, if there's even rotting plants, that means that there has to be water there once. Right? Right?
Seems kind of logical.
Makes sense to me, right?
Brian, give me a hand with this, and I'd like to do a nature check of my own. Or if Dan, if you want to do the nature check
Yeah.
to like find water, because I know we both have the wanderer ability. Always
Yeah.
find food, water.
Yep. Is it a nature check?
Yes, I would say so.
Can I give him advantage or nah?
Sure.
Okay.
That's good. 15.
15, as you attempt to locate the ocean in particular, you do sense that there is a very slight draft coming from one direction that you may associate with potential of moving water, but it's hard to say.
I feel like I can feel a draft and maybe even smell water coming from this way, but it's really hard to tell amongst all the other stench.
Let's go that way for now. I know the stinking leads to a different layer.
All right, I'm going to use my compass as to gain bearing and heading.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to familiarize, like really save it in my mind where we're at now, or more so where the portal was at before. Like just lock it in my brain so that if we need to teleport out from wherever we're at to that location, then we can just hop out of the portal and be out of here with my teleportation scroll.
Roll an intelligence check.
God.
I know me and Dan got the wanderer ability, bro. Remember all terrain and maps.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You think you've got it pretty well internally mapped, but
Yeah,
there are some party members that are a little better at that than you.
Yeah. I just want to remember where that portal is at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can envision it in your head, which is like the big thing for teleportation.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Cool.
Will is on a journey.
to the kitchen and back, I think.
I made toast.
Oh, that sounds really good.
It
With
is.
butter
It's like a
and
cheese
jelly or
bread.
like cheese?
No, it's like a
Oh.
cheese bread
Mm.
that I toasted. It's really good.
I really want a soda, but I don't want to like be up. I'm afraid it's going to keep me up if I drink one.
Mm.
You guys don't know anything about cheese up there?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in Wisconsin.
Yeah, dude.
Wisconsin.
That's the joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I would never say
Cheese.
anything that abrupt normally if there wasn't a joke behind it.
To the ocean.
To the
Yes.
ocean.
Lead the way.
Making your way in that direction, go ahead and roll me a d6.
Who?
I don't do that.
Somebody.
I've done it a lot recently, so
All right, I'll do it.
yeah, go down.
3.
Nice.
Nuts.
Okay.
Balls, even.
Moving toward this area, you do feel yourself moving sort of along the edge of what must be a portal through the stinking realm into Molor, the 528th layer. But continuing past it, there begins an unmistakable sound of ocean waves up ahead.
Do you guys hear that?
I hear it.
I can smell it.
Your
That's
friend is
water,
in the
baby.
58th layer, right? 558?
Yes.
Okay.
And then after 558, it's 666, right?
Sure. We
Boy,
go there.
We're making progress. Well, yeah, let's keep heading to this ocean. Do we have a vessel in which to cross it yet?
We're about to find out.
Yep.
I can ride Maribel with Tick Tick because I brought her in.
Oh, I didn't bring Savage. I hope he's all right all alone.
He's probably safer than Maribel is right now.
That's a
Honestly.
good point.
Hopefully he doesn't eat Angel.
No, he wouldn't do such a thing. He much prefers like scorpions and raw cactus. Just nibbles on that every once in a while.
Wouldn't Maribel eat Angel?
Probably.
Because she's like a hippogriff. And they eat horses, right? Or is that just
Well,
griffins?
I
I
think it's just
think-
griffins.
Okay.
I think you and Tick Tick could ride on Maribel, and not Maribel, and Tick Tick could draw a vessel for us, the other three, to ride along in.
Yeah, I think that's
Like some sort of balloon.
Ooh.
What about a big saddle that'll
Yes.
fit?
Well, Maribel can't hold all of us with just a lot of weight.
What if I cast reduce on the biggest person?
Or enlarge on Maribel.
Or enlarge on Maribel? Although I think that only lasts for a minute.
Oh, maybe that's not the
We
best
would not make it far over that ocean in a minute.
She just shrinks and we all just... Well, once we get to the shore, we'll discuss a little bit more. Hey, that rhymed. All right. I'm going to follow very excitedly towards the sound of the waves. I've never seen the ocean before. I'm pretty excited.
It is not much longer that you begin approaching a sandless shore as you see the dull burning flames that were almost omnipresent here on this layer of the abyss seem to have been extinguished, probably by the presence of the water, if you had to guess. You see dull columns of smoke billowing up from the surrounding ocean into an endless void that seems to expand off to eternity over this honestly relatively clean looking water.
Wow. She is a beaut.
Logan, is it dark? Like, is it like perpetually night? That's what I picture, but then I never really.
Yeah, it's the only light is like the flames everywhere.
But we haven't seen any like sunlight or like any
No.
form of like other light. It's just like flames or darkness.
Yes.
That sounds like your place to be.
My place?
Yeah.
Like my character's place or my place?
No. Your character.
Steven, you would love hell.
Tony knows me. Yeah.
Love the abyss.
Nah, dude. Alec hates this shit. And flying over the ocean, he has a very uneasy, very like wary feeling about this. What if
Is there,
Maribel
like,
has the
any-
land?
Is there like any town at all? Like any side of a? I
No.
guess I don't know. No.
Fuck, dude.
See a whole lot of ocean.
Oh, do we still have that angel lady?
Yeah.
Can she got wings?
Yeah, she has wings.
Dude, she should carry someone.
I could try, but over long stretches, I'm not sure how long I could carry someone without a reliable place to land. It could be very taxing on me, and I need to be about my wits as best as possible.
Can I check and see if the ocean is like dangerous at all? 'Cause I have a strong feeling that it is.
Like you try and take a drink of it, or
No, just like investigate it. Whether
Okay.
it's like
yeah, roll an investigation
mind.
check.
How are we going to navigate on this
that's
ocean?
trash.
How do we even know
Yeah,
where to
it's
go?
less than 10.
As you sift through the water a little bit, with just sort of a small rod or knife that you had with you, you do see thin little eddies form of like very faint red in the water. It almost looks to you like very dilute blood.
So it's a blood ocean.
But no, I mean the ocean seems primarily water, but there seems like some residual blood there.
We blood. I can't do it.
So how long do we think the ocean is? Like, if you had to guess, how long is the ocean?
They say that it's infinitely large, as is the abyss, but I'm sure that we run into some other notable places before too long.
So, like, an hour?
It's hard to say, but I'd imagine something around that, yes.
Oh, well, then I can just polymorph. And then I could carry someone.
If you can do that, then I could carry Nugget.
I could polymorph into a giant octopus. Again.
Mm,
You sure you want to be in that water?
Well, if I'm an octopus, it can't hurt me.
what about the things in the water?
Yeah.
Are they scarier than an octopus?
They're probably a lot scarier.
Abyssal octopi.
Honestly, I could swim as well. I'm a fast swimmer.
But if we're going to be traveling for like an hour, I feel like the best option would be to go airborne if we can. Can you polymorph into something that can fly?
I mean, yeah, but they're not as cool as an octopus.
And could he carry all of us?
I
I
can
feel
turn
like-
myself into a hippogriff
But
There
only
you
for
go.
a
So-
short time.
for 3
Yeah, wait.
hours.
3 hours. That could work. You could be a hippogriff.
I think, right? It's
Half
1/3
your
of
druid
your
level, I thought.
Tick
It's-
Tick could be.
Wait, it's half of the druid level?
I thought for hours you could be in it, but like CR of creatures, it's a third.
I'll look it up. You guys continue.
Tick Tick could polymorph into something else, and I could carry Nugget on Maribel. And if Sebney can turn into a hippogriff, then he could just carry Bran, and then we wouldn't have to be in the water at all. Unless Tick Tick insisted on being an octopus, I'm not going to prevent you from doing that. But if we were all together,
I could also be a shark or a crocodile.
actually, it
Or
could
a
be good to
crab.
have something in the water
It could also be a shark.
in case somebody falls in. You'll be there.
Tick Tick, you should stay Tick Tick. Go for
I
a ride.
should stay Tick.
I think so. Save your power.
Yeah, and then if Sebney can be a hippogriff, then both of you could just ride Sebney as a hippogriff.
Yeah,
And I could
I'm
fly
right.
myself.
come
You
right with
fly
me.
yourself. I think that seems the safest option. That way we stay out of this questionable water and we'll travel more quickly.
But what about if we need to rest?
That is a good question.
I can do it for 4 hours. Well, actually, it says half your level. However, it says round it down, so we can do 4.5 if we want to be diplomatic. But
it says rounded down. So I would say diplomatically.
Hey, 4.5 rounded up.
But it says rounded down. What?
It says rounded down.
4.5 rounded up. Any number above 5, that goes up. Any number above 4, that's what it is. Yeah, so 4 hours. 4.5 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
That's what I said. 4.5 hours.
4 hours, yeah. That's right. So is this what we're doing? You guys are
I
using
think so.
Maribel with... Who's riding Maribel? The Huge? Okay.
Yeah, we should ride for 2 hours, and if we don't see land within 2 hours, then we need to consider turning back. Because the last thing we want to do is like... right? Or can you guys just polymorph again?
I can go again.
I mean, I don't. Honestly,
I'd
I'm
rather
probably
not
more
use
worried
two.
about. I'm probably more worried about Maribel like wearing out than anything.
I mean,
Think so?
Maribel seems very competent in like... I mean, you guys traveled across Essrex like for days.
That's
like,
true.
I mean,
Okay,
she
so
can easily
fly well.
fly for like 8
Okay.
hours straight. Yeah.
I think,
all right,
I
I'm not
think
worried
we're
then.
gonna run out of resources and fall into the ocean with nowhere to land. That's what I think's gonna happen.
Well, if we fall into the ocean, then I'll turn into an octopus.
Well, there's that.
There we go.
I'll turn into a shark.
Yeah, we'll think of something. We'll be fine. I'm sure.
Let's go then. Never mind.
I don't know.
So you undergo your transformation here, Sebni?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're transforming, you see Melandria seems like watch you closely. Seems like intrigued by it.
Stop it. I'm self-conscious. Oh, dude, she's going to flip when she sees me turn into a demon.
Yeah, probably. So I suppose Nugget and Bran are then riding Sebni. Okay. Easy enough. The four of you take flight on your respective mounts. And it's not long before you notice that, though expansive, the ocean certainly gives way heretofore for islands and a variety of different, what seem to be moving, large, palace-like fortresses that seem to encompass a lot of the mobile sea. You see these sorts of... I guess for lack of a better word, these structures that are like moving across the water, made of a collection of metals and stone. Some of them even incorporating like pieces of coral in them, in their structuring.
We lit.
I'm assuming that you're doing your best to avoid them.
Oh hell yeah! Fly low.
I'm looking for the flesh forges, if that's like possible.
Go ahead and roll a perception check. I'd say 70, just because you have the most knowledge on this sort of terrain.
I may have the most knowledge, but I have the poorest dice rolls. You saying perception?
Yes, sir.
10.
And after a ways of going pretty much directly out to sea, you start to notice the profusion of this red color becomes far more extreme. It starts to become almost a sheen of red before eventually, slowly, you realize that the ocean underneath of you is becoming deeper and deeper crimson. And it's not too much into this trip that, Sebni, all of a sudden a thought occurs to you as if by magic. It seems to be the trend down here. These sorts of inclinations to your abyssal nature, or at least your connection to the abyss. You see that this must be the Blood Sea. An ocean of poisonous blood dotted with hundreds of islands overgrown with monstrous tropical plants. You can feel and smell the air is leadened with some sort of poison. And you are familiar with this poison, and there is apparently a way to counteract it temporarily by drinking a naturally occurring fluid on this plane, which is said to taste like maple syrup.
Oh. Would I know what layer the the blood sea is connected to? Like what layers?
Yes, the blood sea is primarily located on layer 531 Vujra.
Nice. Okay. Would I know where to get the liquid?
No.
Not like specifically, just like how one would know that there's water in a cactus.
Yes. In that case, you do know that the fluid known as kilari is an ichor that is produced from the sort of leader of this plane, or of this layer of the abyss.
Nice.
She's called Shaktari, the Queen of Meriliths.
Okay, would I know where she is at? Does she have like her own thing? Okay, of course. You know. Okay, I let the party know. I'm like, hey guys, we're about to breathe some poison.
And as you're saying this, that you can start to hear tick tick, just sort of like.
Sebney, what? You're a hippogriff. I can't hear you.
Oh, I go.
Why are you squawking at us?
Since I have this parapet of poison, is it like so unique that it can't apply, or?
Oh yeah, you don't have any problems if you're immune to poison.
Nice. Well, okay, then yeah, I suppose we should probably land. And do I know how long the how far the poison stretches?
Like across the blood sea, or
just like in general? Does it touch other layers?
You think that it is emitted by the blood sea, which is primarily on Vudra, the 531st layer.
Okay, then yeah. I suppose I can't speak. So I aim for the ground and try to make it clear that we should land.
Okay. I would say relatively obvious. I mean, Maribel is like, paying attention and is sort of following you as is. So she'll curve downward unless Alec, pulls up or something. But presumably you get the picture, and you guys all end up landing on one of these small sort of tropical looking islands. And it's as you're scanning this odd sort of unnatural looking vegetation that you notice a variety of plants that you can only imagine are exclusive to the abyss. Gigantic carnivorous plants that seem almost to lean in toward you as you guys land in the center of a clearing.
Hey, Nugget, this interest you at all?
Do you transform back out?
I do.
Okay.
Then I say the line, hey Nugget, this interests you, yada, yada, yada.
I think so. I could work with this. I want to walk around and start trying to collect a bunch of bulbs, and if I see a plant that looks particularly predatorial, I'm just gonna like sort of scooch around it, and then I'm gonna see if I can throw a concoction together, see if I can make something.
I'd say first roll a nature check.
Of course.
Dude, I think I also got a. Oh wait. I think I also have a herb kit.
I have proficiency with an herbalism kit, and it says I can add my proficiency to skills made to like discern and.
Yes, I mean this would apply for sure.
Okay, so I'll add my proficiency to it. Nature.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be +3 +4, 24.
24. As you're moving through these variety of strange and abnormal plants, you, with your relatively impressive newfound knowledge on certain topics of this variety, are beginning to realize that a lot of these plants, though foreign to you, are sort of corruptions of plants that you're more familiar with. And you start seeking out these patterns, and you start to notice that a lot of these plants are at least of the same sort of lineage as plants you're familiar with. Plants that are used for more basic potions. You think that these may be enhanced in a way, able to give more fantastical effects.
You see this little bulb here is very reminiscent of the Wabajack plant up on Essrex.
Oh, yeah.
I bet I could make this. I'm gonna rip it off its stem.
Can I also try to craft something up since I'm also proficient in a herb kit?
I mean, no, you have no idea, but you're starting to, kind of like, like you can tell something's in the air. Like,
I'm gonna do that thing where I can like increase my body temperature immensely and like be immune to poison.
yeah,
I'm just like running a fever intentionally.
yeah. You quickly do. You begin sweating.
Yeah.
You feel fine now. You can see the other three of you that are not immune to poison, like you're starting to feel it. Nugget seems almost so distracted by all this that he's like coughing into his sleeve, like a little bit of blood spitting from his mouth. He's like picking plants.
I just splatter of blood all over these leaves.
This is not good.
It looks as though some of the blood that was in the water is on the plants as well. I'd avoid those.
And Nugget, it's about this time where you finish your initial concoction here.
Oh.
It takes about 15 minutes of you scrambling around this island, but you're able to pretty well develop a potion of greater invisibility.
Dude, that's awesome.
Okay.
Me next.
Okay. So during the same period, you're also going to attempt to make a nature check.
Yes.
Do you have proficiency with your herbalism kit or no?
I would assume so, yeah. Yeah, because it says pick a profit. Yes, I do.
Okay. Then, yes, you can roll with proficiency a nature check.
Dude, I rolled a 2.
Getting all the shitty rolls out of the way before the battle.
Yep. Okay, so that's an 8.
An 8, yeah, not having quite as much luck. You are sort of scrounging for more raw materials so far, so you weren't able to produce anything. But I would say you can go ahead and write down various exotic plant materials in your inventory, which in the future, given some downtime, like an 8-hour period, you could really delve into making something more extravagant.
Sounds good.
See, I'm just sitting down, mixing some stuff together in vials and crushing up plants, and I'm just
picking flowers, bro. I gotta reduce the insanity.
Is anyone else feeling a little under the weather?
Oh yeah, about that. The blood sea emits poison, and the only temporary cure is manufactured by the demon lord of this lair.
At this point, you see Tick Tick and Bran like scratching themselves, and Tick Tick actually starts drawing blood on his neck as he's just like clawing at himself.
And you decided to inform us of this now?
I thought it was fairly obvious. That's why we landed.
I'm gonna do a toddler coughing and just like open mouth right at Seb.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Sebney seems unaffected. Alex.
So what the hell do we do?
Maybe we should make some masks, at the very least, so you're not breathing it in directly. And drink this water.
I wonder where I've heard that before.
Pass out canteens, because I have 3 canteens, apparently. We do live in the desert. Drink some water.
I have a flask.
It's fine.
I don't know what it was in this flask previously. So,
yeah.
are we gonna die here? All poisoned and such?
Do I know, like, when the poison really takes its toll? Is it, like, super immediate, or is it, like, after an hour?
You don't know a lot about the poison.
Okay.
Just
What if
that
we
it's over
what if we
there.
fly high? What if we fly high up off the ocean? Maybe
What if I
maybe,
called my friend Kraft?
Oh, I was like, who's Kraft? Oh wait.
I have lesser
Um,
restoration, by the way, so I can use that any second.
I do too.
Does that like cure diseases?
Poison.
Poison. Okay, maybe we should try to fly high up off the ocean. Surely it doesn't go
Well,
super high off the ocean. The poison mist, right?
if
Or
you'd like
you-
to try that, I don't want to use another use of.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Flying up a good ways, you eventually find yourself certainly less riddled with the poison that was infecting you. And you think that it's certainly at least a temporary fix. I mean, it's better than being close to the water.
Yeah, we might get spotted. That's the only other thing.
Yeah.
Flying super high in the sky. Yeah, I'll go down and let him know. Like, we avoid the poison, but we risk being spotted for up to.
Wait, I look for any. Are we like truly on one small island, or I was hoping to land on like a larger? I guess we are where we are, but is there like?
I mean, it's
Oh.
not a tiny island. It's maybe like
Oh,
you can't like see across it or something, but it's definitely not a huge island or anything.
Yeah. Is there like any sign of like a castle or something that I can find this demon lord at?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
$19.
Okay. In inspecting sort of like the surroundings of where you are, you do notice that there are definite signs of life on this island. Some of the plants that you've been going through, as you kind of take a second to sit back, you notice that they are being at least to some degree cultivated. And from there, you do realize that there are a couple of walking paths that lead deeper onto this island.
Let's go that direction in an efficient manner, everyone.
Okay. So currently, you're staying on the ground level. Tick Tick and Bran are still poisoned, as well as Nugget is poisoned.
Alec, what if you were to give Maribel to at least 2 others?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Tick Tick, she's probably most comfortable with you. You've ridden her the most. Maybe you should take the reins for a little bit.
Okay.
Just listen to me. Be careful. Treat her with respect, and she'll do the same for you.
Mary,
Okay.
like nuzzles up to Tick Tick.
And Bran, you know your limits. You do lesser restoration whenever you feel it's so fit.
Nugget, you can ride with Tick Tick if you need.
All right, so we don't infect anyone else. We'll stay together on our own little.
Dream team in the sky.
Just don't do anything stupid and try not to blow our cover if you can. Keep an eye on us.
Secrecy is my middle name.
God, just go.
I'm always quiet.
Don't make me regret this decision.
I hop on.
Okay. Easy enough. You take flight, the two of you. How high up are you going? Enough to where you're no longer feeling the effect?
Very high.
Okay. So you're quite high up in the air, and from here you're easily able to make out a sort of village structure on the island that your friends are currently traversing. Looking down, you see a large number of Marylands here. So I'll go ahead and send you the picture of this creature.
Large number of what?
Mariliths.
I heard Maryland. I was like, oh no, not Maryland. Oh
Maryland.
fuck.
Hmm.
Dude, they
Do
look
they all
cool,
have
bro.
Oh no.
6 swords?
They all have 6 arms. I mean, not all are like, armed to the teeth.
Whoa. Tick tick. Do you see those things?
Dude, I'm gonna turn into one.
Yeah, I see those things.
There's
Horn demon.
multiple-
Horny demon.
Ah, those are the most
Subliminal.
beautiful creatures I've ever seen in my whole life.
As they're like digging around in the dirt and stabbing at each
They
other.
can hold 6 swords. I I don't know
We
if it's
should-
the fact that I'm poisoned, but I'm about to faint.
Well, there's a little seatbelt actually on that back saddle.
What?
So if you just
Oh.
click.
Oh, thank you. Good installment.
As you guys are having this conversation, you notice from one of the larger sort of lean-to structures emerges a very different-looking individual.
Oh, is it the... Oh, never mind.
He makes his way out, brandishing an almost tiger-like appearance with a luxurious overcoat.
Oh, shit. He's got
You-
2 left hands.
You do indeed notice that he seems to have 2 left hands, brandishing the iconic visage of a Rakshasa.
Whoa. I mean, not as beautiful, but honestly majestic.
Furry.
Well, let's let them know. I don't want them all down there wandering into those snake ladies.
Well, we should probably go talk to the snake ladies, right? Because we don't want them to get the wrong impression. Because honestly, I think we're the more charismatic members of the group. So I think maybe we should be the welcome party.
Yeah, as he says this, you just see Tick Tick like has like a good smear of blood on the side of his face that he's kind of like haphazardly wiping all the time.
That's a good idea. I agree.
Nugget, you can't throw up because if if you throw up, I'll throw up.
I didn't throw up. I swallowed it. Let's go. Let's go talk to him.
It's about this point that the 3 of you still on the land see Maribel just nosedive up ahead on the island.
We need to make haste. I'm gonna just start like I don't know what they're doing.
Okay, so Tick Tick and Nugget, you land in the center of this village.
Yes.
Maribel lands pretty hard. You see, like she's obviously like hesitant with her her back leg here. It's still injured, and immediately, this Rakshasa seems to be the first to like sort of take notice of you. He takes a couple of steps forward. Well, what do we have here?
Greetings, humble people of this village.
And greetings to you.
I am Tick Tick, and this is Nugget.
You can call me Nugget. And I go out to shake his hand, and I'm like, what?
Oh, no matter.
As they're doing this,
Yep.
I was going to go check out Maribel. Wasn't it mentioned that her leg would be fixed with a greater restoration?
Yeah, I mean, you think anything like at that level would be able to fix it?
I like flip through my notes and I see that I've learned greater restoration. And I'd like to do that while they're conversing.
Okay.
Well,
so you break
you're
out
in the
into this
middle of the-
clearing.
Yeah.
Like into the middle of the village, you go sprint in.
Oh, okay. I thought we were already there. Never mind. Nah, I'll chill in the back.
Okay. Rakshasa says, so what brings you to our fine establishment?
Your
Presumably-
snake ladies are very attractive.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll just stand back here. Go ahead. Tick tick.
Well, we actually represent a larger group of people. Except the thing is, they were on the land and we were on the sky, and we saw you first, and we didn't want you to get the wrong impression when they came. So we figured we would come instead, and we would say hi, and we would introduce ourselves, and then we could maybe, bridge the friendship between our two groups. And
Can I offer you some Kalari? And he holds up like a small vial that he just has hanging around his neck.
Tick tick.
don't mind if I do.
Tick tick. I'm feeling a little sick here.
You should split it with your friends. Should be enough
Okay.
for both of you.
All right,
It's a very viscous, yellowish liquid.
I will do that.
Okay. Drinking it, you immediately feel much, much better.
Hey, that's really good.
Well, I'm happy to help.
Wow, you should
What?
sell that
What's-
stuff. You would make a lot of money.
All right, I'm feeling better. I'll talk too sometimes. What's your name, good sir?
Oh, I don't want to get into specifics just yet. I'm still asking why exactly you've come to my island.
Well, it all started when we went on a quest below the city of Osteren and we found beholders, a lot of them.
Skip
And that-
to the more prevalent parts.
At this
Okay.
point, you see that all of these snake ladies have like moved a little bit closer to you. You didn't really notice them moving, but they're all like closer to you.
As they're basically like encircling us,
Yeah.
I'm gonna like look around and be like, "Hi, I'm Nugget. You can call me Nugget."
Where are we at?
It's about this time that you guys like burst through into on the outskirts of the village. You see them being surrounded by what looks to be around 10 or 15 of these six-armed snake ladies, speaking with a single tiger man in the center.
Oh, Tony the Tiger.
So, what's your name? I ask every random snake lady. If they don't answer, I'll move on to the next one.
They all just keep staring you down, and the Rakshasa once again says, I'm still waiting on that answer.
Right. So, after we had that little altercation with Jordal Cragfoot, what we actually did was, well, did I tell you about, for this next part, you do sort of need to know.
Friends of yours? He gestures toward the woods where you guys are breaking out.
Oh, yeah, that's them.
It
Please,
seems they're aware of
come
us.
forward.
Diplomacy first.
Hello.
It's okay, they're friendly. He gave us yellow liquid, and it made us not sick.
Ah, Kilari. Can you give some to my celestial friend right here? Angelic.
What?
Sorry, I said the wrong word.
I like give
Sure.
Snake kind of like a sharp look, like shut the fuck up. Like don't.
He pulls out another vial, hands it to you.
I hand it to Brian. Or if you hand
Where
it.
is Melandria at? Is she still flying around?
She just landed next to you at this point.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Hey, snakes lady, you see that guy Bran? I could totally beat him up. No.
They're all just totally silent staring.
Okay. Hi, my name's. I just keep moving around.
The Rakshasa steps forward as he hands you the vial, Bran. Well, this is an odd bunch. Tell me, if you've come for my island in particular, there's nothing here to gather.
Well, we've come for the flesh forges, actually. Layer 558.
The flesh forges.
Well, not like the flesh forges in general, just like to get there.
And what business does a motley crew like yourselves have at the flesh forges?
Well, that's
Certainly
just what I was
good.
telling you, actually. So if you would finish the story, we were only about halfway through.
No, I think I've gathered enough from your story. I'd be happy to escort you to the flesh forges for a small dividend.
Go on.
Well, the flesh forges are a dangerous journey from here, especially one where you're not escorted by a friend. And as happy as I would be to help out, I'm a busy man.
I could see.
I would require certain compensation.
I assume it's nothing in money, as that doesn't seem to have value down here.
No. Money has a way to trick you mortals into thinking that it's worth something.
Tick, you'd love it down here.
I require something of real
like shark teeth?
He has a lot of shark teeth.
I was thinking clipping of her wing. He looks over to Melandria. My wing? What do you want with my wing? Oh, well. Not that it's really any of your business. But certain trophies of a bygone era hold considerable weight here. Particularly those of high-ranking angelic beings. Just a feather or two?
I kind of protectively step between Rakshasha and Melandria.
She's sort of like pushed the other way. Of course, I'd be happy to give you a feather or two. It's not a problem. The Rakshasha sort of like grins from ear to ear. That is fantastic news. You see this sort of like twisted, devilish grin. Well then, shall we be off?
We shall.
Get the ship ready. You see the snake ladies who have been slowly encroaching just all spread out and start like going about, working on something.
What if we ask him for passage to the other level that we need after the flesh forges?
Rakshasha. How would one be willing to offer more guidance after the 558th layer?
Guidance?
Similar to what you're doing now. We need passage to the 666th layer.
The 666th?
Yes.
Oh, now of all times.
Not right now, after the flesh forges.
They're not just allowing anyone down there these days.
I would assume it's probably high profile.
I would say that's a bit of an understatement.
Well, you can't really say much more than high profile.
It could be done. It would require certain skills and an elegance I'm afraid your compatriots may not possess.
Would we have to pursue some trials?
No. Quite the opposite. You would need to fit in.
Interesting.
Demonic high society is rather a oxymoron of types.
Doesn't really
Beings
make sense.
obsessed with chaos, but still an order persists nonetheless, does it not?
And yet they become the most powerful.
You need to imbibe your chaos. But these sorts of events require a certain restraint and appreciation for the other respected members of demonic society. I may be able to get you in the door. I may even be able to get you to look like demons. What I worry is that you won't act like them. Then you'll quickly find yourself escorted not out of the event, but deeper into the abyss.
I just look at Melandria.
If it helps, I have been called a demon before.
I don't recall.
Same here.
Well, perhaps just the flesh forges to start then.
We'll see where we're at.
The ship. There it is. You see from behind one of these larger structures, and out of the woods is pulled this sort of large, very thin row ship. about 15 oars on either side. Of course, it's made for people with more arms than you all, but I think you may be able to manage.
Are those the boat sticks we've been hearing so much about?
Will the snake ladies not be joining us?
Oh, no. I couldn't submit them to such dangerous missions.
But you'll be going with us.
Not even one.
I wouldn't miss it. Do you know much of the Forest of the Living Tongues?
No.
What did you say?
The Forest of the Living Tongues.
Oh. No. I thought you were talking about something else. I thought maybe you said the stilled tongues, but I misheard. Never mind.
He looks over to you. Seeming like the first time scan you up and down.
We'll be on our way.
Perhaps you're a more interesting bunch than you initially let on. Hop in, then.
What would you like me to do?
What?
Do I have a job I need to do to make the boat go?
Yeah, the boat sticks.
That's the one.
You can move them backward to push the boat forward.
All right, I'm going to trust you on that one.
It will become obvious shortly. I'm sure you can collectively figure it out.
All right.
Come, Nugget, like this. I sit down in front of an oar.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely weird. There's 3 oars on either side of you that, that's obviously made for people with 6 arms, but you kind of conglomerate a couple of them and start rowing.
Indeed we do.
Okay. Pulling away from the island, you quickly find yourself once again in the Abyssian Ocean. This time not choking on the air, which is nice.
Logan, can I have Maribel follow us or something? I don't want to leave her behind with the snake people. Do you know what I mean?
Maribel,
just if she can just fly, or she can even sit in a boat. I don't know. Whatever.
She'll fly.
Okay.
Moving through the water, he begins mentioning certain other realms in the immediate vicinity. He says, if you're looking for the Flesh Forges, you aren't too far off. Ludra is one of the main layers of this general vicinity. Next we'll be passing Garavant, an airless void. It's good you didn't stumble into that one without my help.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, Garavand is not connected to the Blood Rift, so it won't be much use for us on this journey. Meaning we're forced to traverse the Forest of the Living Tongues. Luckily, most of it is marshy enough to where it should be traversable with this particular rowboat. The Forest of the Living Tongues is one of the many layers where souls of dead mortals like yourselves were sent to be tortured. Now all that remains is their stunted breath and screams heard over the wakened and abandoned forest. You'll love it.
So as he's saying this, I'm looking around, and I'm going to subtly utter a prayer to Torm to guide and protect us.
I'm asking.
Melandria kind of nods and seems to understand what you're doing and joins in.
As he gives us this tour guide spiel, I just keep asking questions and questions the entire time he talks.
I'll say that over the course, he does give you a few answers about the Flesh Forges in particular. He says, "Ah, yes, the flesh forges. It was once this infinite molten mass of constantly changing flesh and protoplasm. It was the realm of the great demon Duerus in the known as the Chrysalis Prince. The plain was marked by lakes of organic material and mountains of bone. Dwerg's seat in the Chiton Palace, which floated in the center of the swirling ocean of molten flesh, was known all throughout the lower plains. Other demon lords have since created pool-like portals into the flesh forges to fuel the creation of their own demons. In particular, recently the Demogorgon has taken a very interest in such pools in the city of Lemuriax in the Gaping Maw. Now the flesh forges are well populated, a sort of industrial plant for the production of demons and demonkin. It's the opposite of your friend. And glance over 70.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I don't think I'm following.
It is a place for spawning demons. He is one for slaying them.
I see.
Oh, see, that makes sense. If he had said that the first time, I don't think there would have been as much confusion.
We still didn't get your name, Rakshasa. Shasa? Is it Rakshasa?
Shasa, yes. And there's a reason for that. Names are powerful things here. Mine in particular.
Can I guess it?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Tick.
Nope.
Darcy.
Not quite.
Can I save the third guess?
Sure.
You should give him a hint.
I'll give you a hint. It's a very demon name. Very popular among demons.
I fall silent as I think over every name I know.
Does he get 3 guesses and I get 3 guesses, or cumulatively we get 3 guesses altogether?
I'm sure he'll get it on his 3rd guess.
I would guess Seth. That's what I think.
Try Valak.
What? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was thinking of names.
I would guess Valak. But don't try. I don't know.
I'm guessing Seth.
I'm bad at
That's what my money's on.
Dave. Seth.
Tom.
I would like to lean over to Bran as we're sort of rowing together. And I'm gonna be like, hey, so those snake demons. Well, what do you think? Would you say that they're your type?
No.
Well, what is your type? Is it, I'm gonna nod over to Landria.
No.
Excuse me?
She would be more akin to my sister than my type.
She cocks her head to the side. A sister. Interesting.
So you don't have like dibs?
I just laugh. Like I can't help but laugh.
Hi, Melandria. My name's Nugget. I liked when you hit that demon with a hammer. I thought that was pretty cool.
You know, you're the best looking of all of your friends, Nugget.
Okay. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Me?
Oh, yes. It's not even close. I've always really had a thing for small
Children.
people.
I'm actually an adult. I'm of a birthing age for kobolds.
Oh, I meant small in posture.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, small is such a objective.
What is birthing age for you?
6. A mating age, really. Like if I was a female, I'd be birthing, but or laying eggs.
Of
I'm not
course.
really sure how that works.
That's so exciting. I don't lay eggs,
Oh,
but I am of birthing age and have been for the last 3,000 years.
well,
MILF.
What happens in the abyss stays in the abyss.
if you have no problem with me being 6, I don't have a problem with you being 3,000.
I think she's older than 3,000.
I'm just gonna keep rowing. Bran, you gotta give me some tips with the ladies. I'm not really sure how this whole thing works.
You hear like Melandria just like quietly laughing under her breath.
Yeah, I just shake my head and roll my eyes, and I keep rowing.
I go up to the rock Sasha. I say, how would one truly blend in for the high society of demons? Are we on the same track?
Well, yes. I know all too well what you're asking. What I'm concerned about is the waves that emanate from you.
I look on my body. I don't see any waves.
Seems to me you've witnessed a black sun or two in your day.
Or 3. Or 4.
It will be difficult for one of your potency to fit into such a society, but it could be done.
Even if you can become a demon?
Especially if you can become a demon. These sorts of things are quite easy for certain demons to see through. It's not exactly a good look to be caught in a false image of one of their kin. I recommend you go in as yourself.
And get mauled?
And proclaim yourself a newfound prophet to a cult. There are a number of quite famous cults on the mortal plane. I'm sure you're familiar with at least a couple.
Indulge me.
If it were me, I would look in... Well, there is always Beelzebub, but I think you need something with a bit more finesse. Fiona could work, but it's not trustworthy enough. No, the cult of Geryon. That's the one I'd go with. The goals of which involve physical prowess, domination of others through strength, and, quite to you all's liking, the destruction of all opponents. Typical cultists would include sorts of bandits, berserkers, gladiators, thugs, warriors. You get my drift?
I suppose. What about Outlanders?
Anyone who seeks victory by strength, any warlike monster, creature, or human, is easily lured to Geryon's persuasions and his cult-like following. His cultists typically form fighting companies and gangs like yourself, proving their strength by defeating others in battle and claiming grand victories for themselves. Certainly something that you are at least a bit familiar with. And if I'm not mistaken, you have an eye for loot, do you not?
Who doesn't?
Not all to the same degree. Members of the cult have particular prowesses that I could teach you. Such things to give themselves an additional power over a short period of time. But of course, such payment would require payment in return.
Fair enough.
And what exactly are you willing to pay, Mr. Sebdi?
Guess we'll find out.
I look very much forward to finding out. It's about this time that you guys are making your way through this dark and bleak, deserted wasteland of a once called forest. At first, there's just this dull muttering, until slowly you begin making out the whispered cries of departed beings. First hearing a whimper, a moan, a shriek of pain, and then full images of the tormented. You see visages of past killings, sacrificial murderings of those once dead before. The torture, the burning, the ripping, the biting. A horrendous pain for all those who existed here so long ago. One image in particular sticks by you. An image of an uprising, a ghostial apparition of what once was, when the people here, the men tortured so long, turned their blades on their captors. And an image something like this comes to your forefront.
Fuck.
The people turning on those who enslaved them, beat them, tortured them, killing them one by one, sacrificially, ornamentally, and brutally. With every killing, it's as if the mortals lost themselves more, delving deeper into despair, longing, chaos. By the time they'd slain the last of their captors, they were nothing but babbling buffoons, looking for their next kill. It wasn't long before they turned their blades on one another, and eventually themselves, leaving nothing but these ghostly remnants behind.
That's horrible.
I quite like it.
I was hoping this trip into the abyss would be a little more wholesome.
Oh, just wait for the flesh forges then.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was the thing. Does anyone have any booze?
Always. And he hands you this
Really?
like long crooked horn filled with some sort of liquor.
How's it smell?
Smells effective. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
I wouldn't expect any less. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's a 25.
You just kind of, and he looks over to you. All right then.
Effective.
It is effective. You are now drunk.
Hmm.
That's what we need.
Fucking pass out.
Shoot, I got drunk and ended up in the abyss.
And as you guys are all sort of collectively admiring Nugget's pretty impressive attempt to down this horn of whatever it is that was just given to him by a Rakshasa, no less, you see your first glimpses of the flowing molten flesh of the flesh forges. The lair where apparently Rain Fear resides, locked away, hopefully not yet among this flowing macabre of death and recreation. And I think we're gonna have to pick up there next time.
You bastard. I knew you were going to say it.